Okay,
Yes.
fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us today. Maybe my audience who will be watching this podcast, they understand a little bit that I've changed a little bit, but it's the same kind of look. But I try just to look like this, to and new glasses. But yes, it's so. It's my very first day with two shows and so special shows, two of them. Because first was with twins, and I already shared with my um, guest now on the show. But this is dessert.
This is
This
dessert.
of course.
Okay.
This is my very special dessert for you guys, and I've tried to make this dessert many months. I tried to make it for the Valentine's Day, then for different, and even for Easter. But
Yeah.
well, good dessert takes time. So
Yes, yes.
now, Paul, Paul, my mistake. I saw you. You're like always magnificent. So I just actually lost my head, and I forgot to ask how to pronounce correctly your name because it's so important. Can I try? Is it Getter?
You got it. Perfect. Perfect.
You see? You
Like go
see?
getter.
Yes, amazing. Because usually I do that before I start recording, but when I saw you bow and your smile and you start talking about sunny weather in Miami, so I lost my mind. Okay. Anyway, so welcome to the very special episode of Diversity is the Game Changer. And you already understand we have really well long waited dessert of mine for you. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's my privilege to be here.
Oh, thank you, darling. And now time that I will be a little bit in intro you and bragging, but not bragging. It's true because some people they are shy. I don't think that's your and my case, but still I need to to brag. I don't think that actually there are many people on podcast planet that don't know you, but I still for new one I need to present a little bit
Sure,
more,
sure.
right?
Absolutely.
So welcome first. But first I brag about my show a little bit. Okay, is it okay for
Okay,
you?
okay. Sure, sure.
Okay, okay. But you see, guys, I asked not to be rude, polite. I asked permission. So welcome to my no my diversity is the game changer podcast where bold stories meet breakthrough thinking. Today's episode is packed with resilience, marketing mastery, and the powerful role of diversity in shaping success. From surviving to scaling, from setbacks to digital empires. Believe me, this episode is the masterclass in growth, grit, and game changing thinking. Of course, because of whom our guest. And our guest is a legend. He is a legend today. In the digital world and beyond, he has helped and still doing that many years from now, scaling empires, crafting iconic funnels, turning coaches into global authorities. Probably also turning me one day. I will be big. Remember?
Let's
Okay.
do it.
So Paul, how he calls himself the internet marketing nerd. Here we match because I call myself just nerd,
I
but
love
you,
it.
yeah. So we are
Good.
from the same tribe. You see?
Good. I think so. I think so.
Yeah, so Paul's journey began in the actually backseat of a 1996 Dodge Caravan. Is it true? You look
Yeah.
so young.
Yes.
It was how you were driven from your birthplace after
No.
exactly after you've been
Thank
born.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, I was driving. I was driving.
You were dying. Okay,
Yes.
nice to. But fast forward, after all, he was delivering phone books by this right, Karen, if
Yes.
I do correct. But you will share the story. But fast forward, he has now managed or 1 billion in pen ads, work with global icons, and still helping building multiple figure businesses. But what makes Paul is unique and standing out. It's not just about conversations and clicks. It's everything about compassion, creativity. Look at him. Yes, elegance, I would say. It was not on my text now, but I'm adding improve.
Thank you.
Creating spaces where diverse voice and unique minds thrive. So let's discover the brilliance behind the brand, not just brand, is Paul Getter. Now I'm said, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. That introduction, I'm like, are you talking about me? All of those nice things. Thank you very much for that introduction. And thank you for having me on this podcast today. Thankful, appreciative, and honored to be here with you.
Perfectly. Look, Darling, we actually we had no idea, but okay, I had a little bit idea. Of course, I know you're so elegant always, so I thought, okay, we need to match. If we
Good
like do
job.
a couple show one day on the stage, so we have called you and me
We
now.
both
We
have
have,
our bow ties on.
yes, we have this, and we have like nerdy glasses, but still we
Yes.
are very very confident and sexy, right?
Great style.
Okay,
Great
yeah,
style.
great stuff. Okay. But now, before all that, everything what I said, it's true, right? So actually, it starts one day, like with all of us, with our little ones, right? And the great echoes of our childhood. So,
Yes.
and today I would like also to start with that. Let's swim a little bit backwards to your childhood kingdom and tell us about little Paul. Welcome to his kingdom. Tell us about this guy. Uh, how was your childhood? Where did you grow? And how the mindset and circumstances, family,
Sure.
everything what you're choosing actually impact who you have became. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely. Yeah. So I remember not too long ago, I do a mastermind that is, we call it a private jet mastermind, where I'll
you.
take a private jet, take 10, 15 high level entrepreneurs on a private jet down to the Bahamas and do a mastermind there for the day. And at the last minute, someone canceled and I had an open seat. So I called up my mom and I said, "Hey, mom, you want to go down to the Bahamas today?" She was like, "Absolutely. I would love to go to the Bahamas." So I picked her up. We went to the private airport, got on the private jet. And as we're flying down to the Bahamas, she looks at me and she says, "Paul, would you ever imagine someday that we would be on a private jet flying down to the Bahamas?" And I was like, "No, mom, I don't think I could ever imagine this." And I told her, I said, "Mom, I remember when we were living with Uncle Kenny in his house. You and dad had that big room at Uncle Kenny's house. And me and my brother, we were sleeping on the floor in a mattress connected to a little room connected to your room." My mom laughed and she said, "That was not a room that you were sleeping in. That was the closet." And it was a closet that we were sleeping in. And then she said, "Paul, do you remember living in the car?" I said, "No, mom, I don't ever remember living in the car." And she started to describe that time when we lived in the car. We were going to the parks and taking a shower there in the parks and stuff and just going from one place to another. She said, "Your dad was looking for a job and we didn't have anywhere to live." And then it hit me. I said, "Yeah, mom, I remember that now." And I said, "I thought we were on vacation or something." She said, "No, we didn't have a home. We were traveling around from different parks and different cities and doing whatever we could to make a living." So no, I didn't grow up with money. I didn't grow up in a big home or anything like that. There was many times that we lived in very little poor, whether it's trailers, apartments, duplexes. I'm very poor. But the one thing that I can say about my parents is that they always taught me that you can be anything. You can be anything. I remember I was probably like 10 years old and I had myself convinced, or my parents had me convinced, that I could be president. I could be president of the United States. We didn't have anything, but my parents instilled within me that you can do anything and you can be anything. So it's a long way from where I grew up to where I am now. Again, like I said, doing private jet masterminds, traveling around the world to, amazing locations. I have to just look back, pinch myself, and say I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Both my parents were very hard workers, and they instilled that within me, that hard work is important, and building relationships with people, connections. My dad was one of these individuals. He could go into a store or wherever and he never met a stranger. And so it's things like that I learn how to work hard, learn how to build relationships with people. And if you understand the value of that, you can go anywhere and you can do anything.
Wow, I am so impressed. What a powerful message, what a strong message, and beautiful at the same time. So, really inspiring. Thank you, first of all, for sharing this open story about you, your family. It's so beautiful how actually you put that metaphoric that, yes, it's true. You, in the one context, like materialistic, maybe you didn't have that much, but the most important, which actually cannot be bought for money, it's unwavering support by your family, love, and being by your side, and this inspiration and belief, and being your role models, how actually you should evolve yourself, what is the most important, they already planted in you. So I'm so happy that you could experience that, and I'm sure now through you are the vessel, you can share this radiant energy, kindness and care which you have got from them to so many people. And you know how actually important that what you have inside, because maybe like, not maybe, I agree, I have also a special childhood, I would say, like also some days without food. I mean, I did never had really like my clothes until I was and we didn't have that much, and I grew up just with my mother, and she was everything like you said also. Maybe we don't have that, but we will work tough, strongly, and study. We will get it. But these things you can never miss, right? If you can learn it from your heart. So it's the most important, because even now I've taught like by hard way. I'm Ukrainian. Everything what you collect of things can be taken away for 5 minutes, right? Everything blown away, bombed in my city. Everything what people actually had been focused the whole life, not put in here and here, but in things gone, right?
Absolutely.
But what you have here, like I can relate and watching you, and it's not up. It's 1000% not coincidence why you have become that successful. First of all, thank you so much for your mom, that she could be like role model for you, and your father, because if parents say something one thing but they act differently, it doesn't work. You could spell their how they treat you, right? So thank you so much for this story. It's a beautiful story, very powerful, and it's very nice for our audience to get this hope and resilience, like really never give up. Like you said, you can be anything. It's true.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Powerful message to us, to me again, because some days, especially now, still news from my country sometimes are really like this, you know. And my kids from Ukraine, I have adopted, and my parents refugees from there. Sometimes it's easy to lose hope, actually. Yes, okay, but then tell me, okay, so actually, you see, I was so flattered when I saw it, so I even forgot the whole scheme. Usually, I start with title, and I forgot title, because I wrote like from Dodge Caravan to digital domination, diversity of thoughts with the genius, or yes, brilliant minds of Paul. But now I know it's actually true. It was like you said, it was actually from very beginning about what was the car actually? Maybe also Dodge Caravan, where you believed you were on vacation.
So the Dodge Caravan was this was my van. This was my van that we would drive around, and we would get paid $50 a night to deliver phone books. So I was doing whatever I could to make money on the side. I was working a full-time job. That wasn't enough. I needed a second job. So at night times, me and a friend were delivering phone books, $50 a night. So we would fill up the back of the Dodge Caravan with phone books. The bumper would be dragging the ground because it was so full. And so 3 or 4 hours just deliver phone books. And so that was before the internet marketing nerd. That was, I'm still trying to figure things out, but I'm doing. So that's one of the things I always hear people. They're like, oh, I'm not making enough money. Well, get another job, get a second job, get a third job. It's like, sometimes you got to make a sacrifice. Sometimes you got to work a little bit more so you can save the money, so you can invest it into your future. So that's what I was doing. I was delivering phone books out of the back of my minivan to make some extra money. And when I was a kid, I don't know what type of car my parents, we had all kinds of different cars when we was a kid. So I don't know what we were driving when I was a kid, but that was, I was probably in my 20s when we were driving that minivan around and delivering phone books. So.
Wow. what also a sweet, beautiful story, because it's also give us like the power to adapt and to change and to be open.
Yeah.
You,
Gotta work. Yeah. It's hard
yeah, and
work.
hard work. It's exactly
Yeah.
like me. Like I don't believe in this paradigm that no, I don't have enough. I don't. Yes, because like you said, there are jobs all the time. There, it's how you prioritize to build your time and to choose
Mhm.
the rightly, because we all have 24 hours, right? But
Right. Right.
of course, I know that I had also 3 jobs, and I didn't have the time to sit and actually feel pity for myself, because I knew that okay, I have to work. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't fall from the
Yeah.
sky. It
Yeah.
doesn't,
You got to
right?
do everything you can. Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly. So yes, whatever. But then if we go with the flow and swimming smoothly, like from
Uh-huh.
the this delivering of the books.
Yeah.
So you said you were like 20 years
Yeah.
working.
Yeah. In my 20s, probably 24, 25, something like that. So I was, a lot of times people ask me, like, how did you decide to be an entrepreneur? I'm like,
Mhm.
I had bills to pay. I was doing whatever I could to figure out how to make money. And there was some time I've always been nerdy. And when the internet, when the internet first came out, I was playing around with helping businesses build websites.
Mhm.
I actually got a programming book, read it, and I learned HTML. And I was helping, like small restaurants build websites. I was helping, just local businesses. At this time, 90% of companies didn't have websites. It was very new. I was working at a job where I was a salesperson. I did telephone sales. And the owner of the company, he was always very mean, very angry. He would come into the office yelling at people and just really made it an uncomfortable place to work. And I
Mhm.
remember one time he came in, he was yelling at everybody, just upset. He would leave and people in the office would cry. So I one day I was like, look, I got to say something to him. I wanted to be respectful. I want to be nice about it, but I wanted to bring it to his attention that him yelling at people wasn't really the best way to do things. So he was yelling and stuff. And I went up to him. I said, sir, I don't know if you realize this, but the way that you treat everybody here makes people upset and it makes it an uncomfortable place to work. Well, that wasn't the best thing to say to him because he got even more angry. He poked me in the chest. He said, Paul, if you talk to me like that again, you're going to lose your job. And so I was like, I had a decision that I had to make. Again, I was playing around with this website stuff and I knew that I wasn't going to put up with this guy and I wasn't going to let him fire me. So I made up my mind, I'm going to quit. And I said, well, thanks, but no thanks. I left and I quit my job. And again, I'm playing around with this website, building websites. So I decided to go all in. I started to build websites for all kinds of different companies. I'd go door to door. If it was a restaurant, whatever it is, I would go in and I'd talk to them. Hey, you think about building a website? And so that's where I began my online digital marketing, I guess you would say, is building websites and helping people bring their business online. So that was the very first phase of, I guess you would say, the beginning stages of the internet marketing nerd is building websites for companies. But I had to get in this place where it was like, okay, it's do this or don't do this. I had to get pushed into it. So
Adorable, Paul. I worship you for because now in this shortcuts, feeds, pay, filter, mask
yeah,
era of TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, people suddenly, and particularly new millennials and generations, and they suddenly believe that world actually this delusional picture they're getting there all the time. Really, it's
yeah,
really delusional picture. Everything you and me, we know this is the kind of strategy you can also use like toolkit to marketing. So but inside the work and real values, personal values, soft topics, which is most valuable, they don't work like that, right? You
right.
have to work, you have to work hard and to invest first, and really by not like getting the perfect picture, the perfect place, the perfect job, and because everything like in Instagram, right, it's perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
People
yeah.
really invest in that time to post anything. But then the question is why you have to take 100 pictures and not post just the first about given the real picture. You have to choose the perfect one, and even to put like some mask. And really, when I'm talking to my kids, they are 15 years old, they kind of confused sometimes about what is true world, what is not. But then I'm trying to
so
teach,
true.
no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's an illusion. It's an
the
illusion that people, I say this, people, this is social media. First of all, real life is failure, 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 success. Failure,
exactly.
failure, 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 success.
Mhm.
This is what people do online. Their life is failure, 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 success. Post the success. And then failure, 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 success. Post the success. So all you see is a bunch of success stories, but that's not reality. We all have failures. And I know I'm probably guilty, just like everybody else is like, you do a video, you mess up, you do it again, mess up, do it again, mess up, do it again. People don't connect with perfection. People don't connect with perfection. I think that's important for people that are doing business online. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. Like, is this person real? It's like what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, is this real? And they can see it online. They can feel it online. I don't know how many times I've met somebody online, and then when I see them in person, they're like, "Hey, it's good to see you." I'm like, "Who are you?" Well, we've been talking
Exactly.
online.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, you don't look like the person I've been talking to. So it's like people connect with not perfection, but authenticity. Be real. Be real.
Thank you so much, because it's exactly what I'm trying to give a message by using all my platforms. It's not like I'm using my energy to be resistant or anything, no, but I'm trying to be persistent. And I say, like, perfection, it's a blind way, it's delusional picture you will never get if you are in the first place not good with yourself, that you are perfectly enough for yourself.
That's a great way to say it. Yeah.
Right. And actually it's about progress, it's about growth for yourself. And then you can be in true yourself authentically, then you can have a lot of identities and be like in healthy relationship with platforms, to know how actually use them, but not like you can use them, but not that you suddenly can be used by them, right? And it's very, yourself, it's very, very fragile. Like suddenly you sit and you start like really feel this one now try to pull you, and then and like,
you control it. Don't allow
Mhm.
it to control you. You got to control it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like I just also decided, like, last fall, before I decided to make my show, because I've been like, I'm actually basically like you. I'm nerd. I love being nerdy. I love to be in my bubble. I feel safe, confident there, like, and be really myself. And actually in Norway also, it's so much authenticity. If you know, and I do believe spiral dynamic, it's already a lot of green paradigm that people over these just materialistic things. They kind of care that everything have enough, but also like not just showing off that much. And I've been living here 18 years, so of course I still like to be liked. It's normal, but then
Of course,
means like balance. Everything should be well balanced, right?
yeah, of course, yes.
What's uh why I started that now I'm starting I'm it's actually my problem. I'm not good listener, I'm not present listener. I'm deliberately working on that, because this is not my show, this is my facilitator to be your shining star, and not me now. But what I actually mentioned, and I'm sip after that, by day I decided last fall, being in mental institution, I've been 6 weeks in mental institution. I was really, really very bad. I drove myself there because I took responsibility. I have OCD, neurodivergence, and sometimes really severe episodes. After the war broke, I was strong 2 years for my refugee parents, for my kids with special needs. But then one day it doesn't work like that. You can not be hotspot if you if your Wi-Fi don't have signal anymore. So I
Yeah.
just drove there. I was so bad, and I mean, to be open and real. And when actually I decided to have a show, so I decided, no, it will be not be like that. It will be about real me, real my story.
Yeah.
That's why
That's
I'm
good.
sharing really
Yeah.
openly all the time, every episode, boldly. Yes, I have mental disorder, which is called OCD. Now I know we call it neurodiversity, which I like much better.
Uh-huh,
I'm
uh-huh.
advocated our brains wired differently. That's why we perceive information differently. But
Yeah.
look at me. I have struggles. I was in my pitch 6 weeks crying, has had like intrusive thoughts. I was suicidal. I was that and that and that. And how I decided when I'm better now, but everyday work, of course, hard work,
Yeah.
still mental work, to show the real picture. Like, look, guys, this is me. It's not a shameful to have it. It's not,
Mhm.
it's okay to not be okay. It's
Yeah.
like you had failure, pain, 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 little
Right.
bit better picture. It doesn't work like that.
That's not
So
reality.
my question is for you, then it's, and I'm swear I'm sipping. Actually, that about this diversity of thoughts, and actually in all our this world, how to, especially maybe for young people, to navigate, how try to smell who is actually very fake and autism,
Yeah.
how, because they are so confused all the time. What would you suggest from you, a very very self-built, real authentic person, but now you're in internet nerd, how to
Yeah. So first of all, I think anyone in your position going through, the war in Ukraine, the horrific pain, the tragedy, loss that is associated with that, uh, I think that is unimaginably difficult. It's something that, people here sitting in the U.S., I don't think we could ever comprehend what it would be like, bombs dropping in our neighborhood, loss, and everything that is associated with that. So I'll say this, that there's a saying that says hard times build strong people. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Hard times build strong people. And so I know the Ukrainian people are going to be stronger in this. So our prayers are with you, with your family, with your country, for that. Because again, for us to sit in the comforts of our home and just, we could never imagine this, is something that we only see at a distance, miles away on television and stuff like that. So it's impossible for us to imagine. I think it is easy for us to see the illusion of people online. Number one, we only see small clips of their life. And most people, like, just you talking in a very vulnerable, compassionate way on this podcast, that's what helps people. That's what helps people. That's what gives people hope, that they can look at you, look at your success, look at what you're doing. And in the middle of this, you've got this struggle, you've got this internal, not just external war, but you have an internal war going on. And so everybody has that. Everybody's war is different, everybody's struggle is different, everybody's pain is different. So, but we all have it. We all have issues that if we lift up the carpet and look underneath, we got some stuff under there that we're dealing with.
Mhm.
People online, I think, are afraid to admit that. They think that, oh, people won't follow me, people won't like me, people won't want to be a coach, want to work with me because they know I've got these issues. But it's actually the opposite. It's actually the opposite. People want to connect with people that are like them.
Yeah.
And, I teach in public speaking, for example, that
Mhm.
it's important for people to know, like we started out this podcast with
Mhm.
your backstory. Because if you just step on a stage and tell people about your success and principles of success, and they don't know your backstory, they'll have this mindset, well, yeah, they can do it because they've had a perfect life. I
Mhm.
don't have a perfect life. But
Mhm.
if you can share your backstory, hey, I grew up homeless. I grew up, delivering phone books out of a minivan. I grew up in a poor home. And then there's people that say, okay, if he did that and he accomplished this, then I can too. So I think sharing those vulnerable moments, sharing those painful issues, sharing those things that you want to keep to yourself, you should actually be open about it, because it can empower people. It can inspire people. It can encourage people, that they can say, if he did it, if she did it, then I can too. So I think that would be a message I'd share with maybe someone listening to this podcast, that if you find yourself just always talking about success, start to share the struggles, start to
Mhm.
share the pains. I'll give you a pretty interesting story. I have one of my coaching students that is a personal trainer.
Mhm.
He's look, he's one of these guys, look like on the cover of a magazine, bodybuilder, just looks great. And one time he shared maybe a little secret that he had. His secret was that a few years ago he had liposuction, and that one video went viral. And I
Mm.
was talking to him about why it went viral. And I said, it went viral because you said something that people could relate with, because they look at you and they think that you're perfect. They think that, you worked hard. But when you share this vulnerable moment, you share this moment that you like, hey, I did this. And, that people can relate with that, and it makes you look more human. I think that's the thing is, hey, we're all human. None of us are perfect. We all got issues. Like, remove the bow tie, the jacket, the glasses. I got issues. We all got issues. We all got problems. And people connect not with perfection, but they connect with people that are real and authentic.
Yes, absolutely. I do love and all. Oh my God, I could really just put every single word of yours now in the big golden frame, and every single day I do post and do and read, especially for young generation, because they really have, like you said, like everybody's struggling, has own issues in the war we had actually nothing about, right? We have
Yeah.
no idea. And when you look at the person, even not in internet, even just in
Yeah.
your life, sometimes I also, particularly maybe like, in the airports and big one, all kind of people, we are so like diverse, not diverse, it doesn't matter, all these labels now like
Yeah.
backlash, but we are different. This is the beauty, like biodiversity. Actually,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
healthy
Absolutely.
system, because we are so different, right? And and we're like, oh, in it kind of mind that, okay, how they can relate, no, because they probably have much better life than me, because I am that and that, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what because you're so evolved, and your awareness at this high level already, of course, you know that we are not our thoughts, right?
Right.
Not
Right.
our emotions, not our reactions. It
Yeah.
just people who are meditate and know how to deal with overwhelming stuff, like Ukrainians now. And you, of course, you meet so many different people, many different energies. And my question is, and this, while you interact with all different people, how you can first of all, um, have these tools on daily basis to maintain this different energy, that you cannot, like, pour energy to other
Yeah.
people, but you have to refill your energy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Different, you know that it's everything about energy. But at the same, it should be level, maybe age, that uh, you have to still teach them, but not like feel, not they are not missing their level of authenticity, right? So it's
Right.
it's this special boundaries, actually, when you talk and speak with your coach, the persons. You have like three cores, like, like special golden rules, golden, like Paul's rules. So I never do that, and never say never, or first of all I do that and that and that. It doesn't matter what kind of person that you can give us some advices. Like for me, I'm trying to be public speaker, and I know all people different. What is
Yeah.
actually your mantra to
But
work?
so you're right. I've worked with people of really different levels, different energy, different personalities and stuff. Number one, for me, a person's integrity,
Mm-hmm,
truthfulness, honesty, and integrity. If we
mm-hmm,
don't have that in common, there's really no grounds for us to work together. So if a person doesn't operate from a level of honesty and integrity,
mm-hmm,
then I, I don't care how skillful they are, how talented they are. It doesn't mean anything to me because that's the foundation right there. We have to connect with honesty, integrity, morals, and principles. And I believe in treating others as we would want to be treated. So, you might have a different type of personality, that's fine. You might have a different type of skill set, that's fine. But if we don't have honesty and integrity in a relationship, we don't have the fundamentals to work together. Secondly, for me, I think one of the highest levels of connecting with a person
mm-hmm,
is three letters: FUN, fun. Can we have fun? You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's just like uh, whatever we're doing, whether it's speaking at an event, whether it's client interaction, I want to work with people that I can have fun with. For me, some people are just so serious and uptight and just, maybe just, I don't know, too tense for me. I
mm-hmm,
like to be around people that have fun. Fun actually means trust. Fun actually means trust. So it's like if I can have fun with a person, that means I trust them. Some people early on a relationship, a connection, you find yourself, it's challenging to have fun with them. But when you start to grow in a relationship, you start to have fun together. So that's number two. Have fun. And then thirdly, for me, my faith, my relationship with God is something that just, it's a part of me. It's a part of me. So I work with people of different faiths and different beliefs and everything like that. But I do think that a person having a respect for my faith, my relationship with God, obviously that is essential. That's critical. There used to be this time in online, working online, that I kind of kept my faith in a little box over here, and I kept business over here in another box, and I didn't allow them to come together. And I
mm-hmm,
kind of felt like, if a person, maybe if a person knew about my faith or something like that, maybe they wouldn't want to work with me. Then I realized, look, if a person doesn't want to work with me because of my faith,
mm-hmm,
I probably don't want to work with them either.
mm-hmm,
So I became, more expressive about that, and I allowed the two of them to come together. And big picture, that's been more fun. That's being more authentic to who I am. I don't have to keep my faith hidden over here or something like that, or keep it out of business. I bring it in business. I talk about it on stage, and anytime I have an opportunity, I bring the two of them together. So I think those are probably kind of the three guidelines for me. Number one, a person has to have integrity. If you don't have integrity, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how skillful you are. Number two, you got to be able to have fun. It's like life is fun. It's work can be fun. Work can be fun, and then thirdly, a respect and appreciation for my faith and my relationship with God. So.
wow. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful because I totally can relate. I had actually the same question.
Uh-huh.
I caught myself when I start running the show because being in Norway, I do religious and I believe in God and I speak freely about that. I was even more freely when I've been living in Ukraine, but here basically like 80% of the population they are atheistic, right? They don't relate, and for me it was like also in the beginning like how open actually I should be with about that, and then like I actually also like you I asked myself like okay if people really don't want to know who I am, this is truly me. Why should
Yeah.
I adjust? For what? Losing my face? Then for
Right.
what? They're actually not interested in me. Sorry. Then it's your choice, your karma, your way. It's not. I'm not judging. It's not my
Yeah.
way to live, and it's not my job. But you're like that. But let me have my choice and
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
by my choice.
Yeah.
If you need like me, please, this is holistic approach. You
Yeah.
cannot put me one arm there, one there. It's me. So I decided, no, please take
It's
myself. I do believe in God. I talk to him. I trust that everything unfold actually in my life in the best way, but decided by him. And I explained my kids, which I have adopted, because they asked me how I could choose them, and I said I could never choose, because God always know which angel should be sent to which mama, and he
yeah.
understood, and I knew it was not my job. It's him. He knew, like, before you were like probably thought or planned
Yeah.
some, that God chose that for me. So they know that mama, who is not actually given physically birth, it I explained, it can be mom and a real mom. And a real mom, you don't need to give a birth, and you can be the best mom ever, and it's decided by God. So I explained that, and I do actually really believe in that. It's my choice to live like this. So I'm very happy that you and me, we can discuss openly that, and we share and the fun, because our religion, like Orthodox, is like you cannot have like fun and be happy and do bad. You should be
I know.
funny.
I've seen
You
that. I've
understand?
seen that. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's dark. You just should cry. You just should stand on your knees.
Yes.
Your
Yes. Yes.
ass girl is
I don't
nobody.
think God wants
When
that
you have
for us.
your period and menstruation period, you cannot go to church. Like, it's very like you cannot smile. You cannot have actually good time and be a believer. It's a
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah.
God
Yeah.
does
I don't
what?
think God wants that. I think God wants us to have fun. You know what I mean? It's living for God is fun. So
Yeah, and like fun. You also said, even now when I'm having this my OCD, and like you say, fun. I also, even this is one of my toolkit to joke about that, because I had podcast, like, with a very talented screenplay writer, and he is in the horror genre, right? And I
uh-huh.
said, when I again have my remission, please, Anthony, call me. You don't need Spielberg or Hitchcock. I have these pictures
Uh-huh.
24/7. We can get Oscar like that, because you have no idea what kind of intrusive thought they come. If you just make the note, we are best ever. And he's like, Valeria, oh my God, yes, 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 and they're coming for free.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So fun at school, yeah. I just want oh, time is flying, of course. I still want, of course, then to grab a little bit of your brilliant mind, if you already mind for 1 hour in this live. So I, of course, watching your also video, and about, you call it, it's just difficult to pronounce for person with 6 languages battling all the time, because I do speak fluently six, but
I barely speak one. I barely speak one, so I understand.
you have with God is the most part. Speakerpreneurship. You talk about speakerpreneur. We
Yeah.
already talked about that, but I also want now to jump and to still a little bit highlight about, because it's bonus for our audience. Let's go deeper and use your formula about 4 M's. Market mechanism model millions, right?
Right.
So if
Right.
you just, it's actually not the topic. The topic is much more deeper. In our podcast today, but still we know to have freedom, we have to eat, right?
Right. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
It should be, even it's part of balance and everything. Because
Of course.
if
Of
you
course.
are hungry, it's very difficult to talk about also very highly frequencies, right? So can you just a little bit elaborate about this, your formula, market plus mechanism plus model, and then you can get millions. Yes, but
You,
or
you
we
know,
have, actually we should have much time. It's not that easy, maybe just in
Uh,
5 minutes.
you, you know, it's funny. I've been on podcasts before, and people will say, "Hey, can you tell us about your formula we read about?" And they'll say, the 4 M's, model, marketing. I'm like, I don't remember that one. And so it's like, But
Okay, super. But you're so then we can improvise.
yeah. So this is what I'll tell you. When it comes to building a brand, when it comes
Yeah.
to building a product or service, there are certain formulas, certain models that work in any industry, any product and service. So number one, you have to have a model. There are proven models that if you study when it comes to business, that it works. A lot of times people, they'll come to me and say, I have this new idea, I have this new product, this new service, nobody's doing this. That scares me because success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. So it is much easier to find someone that is doing something similar to what you want to do and model after that. Instead of trying to create a new model, a new idea, just find something that is working, put your own personality, your own brand, your own identity into this same model. And so once you have a model that's proven, that's working, then there's certain mechanisms that you use, certain platforms, certain softwares. And again, what I like to do when it comes to building someone online, building their product, their service, I like to, number one, I'll ask them, is there anybody doing what you're doing or similar to that? And they're doing it really good. They're getting great results. So I like to find, I don't like to call them competition because I don't think any of us have competition. We're all unique. We're all one of a kind. There might be somebody that offers similar products or service to you, but they're not your competition. I believe in collaboration and not competition. Work with them, don't work against them. So find out what they're doing and begin to emulate that. Begin to reverse engineer what they're doing. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times people, they have great products, they have great services, they're doing amazing things, but nobody knows about them. And that's a bad situation to be. Like, you're the best kept secret. Like, I've talked to people like, why haven't I heard about you? This is amazing. You are really good at what you do. And it comes down to marketing. Comes down to marketing. Yeah. Number one, you are your best marketer. You are your best marketer. If you do what you say you're going to do, you do it with excellence. You take care of your clients, your customers, you take care of them. You will begin to be your best marketing machine because people will begin to tell everybody, oh, they do an amazing job, and they become your own marketing. But in addition to that, I think that you need to have a proper marketing plan. You need to be utilizing all the platforms that are out there. I believe in kind of like an omnipresent model. Like, try to get on as many of the platforms as possible. Get your message out there. Like a podcast, everybody can do. Years ago, everybody wanted to be on television. Like, oh, I want to have my own television show. You can have a podcast. Before that was like, I want to be on the radio. I know when I was a kid, I wanted to be a radio DJ. I wanted to host a radio show. But now you can have a podcast. You can have a YouTube channel. You can have, all of these social media platforms. And some of these platforms get more attention, more viewers than some of the television channels that we all watch. Some of the radio shows that we listen to, these podcasts are replacing it. So the dynamic, the paradigm has changed where you don't have to have a multi-million-dollar studio to have your own TV show. You can do it from home, have your own podcast. So utilize these platforms, and it's just about consistency, doing it over and over and over again. That is what's going to differentiate you from everybody else, is if you're just consistent, you do it with excellence, and you take care of the people that you're serving. It's people over profits. It's relationships over revenue. You do that, you serve people, you won't have to chase money. Money will chase you.
Exactly. The quality of your, like you said, service or everything you deliver will be talking loudly than your words.
Right. It'll talk louder than you. That's right.
Mhm. When you had to change from we all apparently have to change the digital era and AI and everything. So, and you said like failure, then success, right? So, how you could manage while it was failure, but
Yeah.
actually it's also how you probably what kind of attitude you have, because if you just put it like never fail is always a lesson, then it's like getting, because like the first business you're building, it's not for profit, it's just to get experience, and probably it's actually to fail forward.
It's to fail. It's to fail. Yeah. So I, a lot of times entrepreneurs will talk about, oh, how I made 6 figures in 6 days. I can tell you how I lost 6 figures in one day. You know what I mean? So I've had big failures in the online space. There's so many things that have happened. I've been in it nearly 20 years. There's been platforms that change. They start and then they die. There's policies that change. There's algorithms that change. There's many different things that are out of your control that, you might be building a business based on a policy that gets changed. It's gone. Or building something that is based upon an algorithm that the platforms have. There used to be a day that you could post something on Facebook, and if you had 5,000 followers, you would get 5,000 likes and comments. It was like that. So if you had 1 million followers, you would get 1 million likes, 1 million comments. Now, the average reach on a social media profile is about 5 to 10%. So if you have 1,000 followers, maybe only 100 people actually see or engage with your content. So the algorithm has changed. Ad policies have changed. So there's been times where I'm actually working with a client, making them millions of dollars. They're happy, they're excited. And then Facebook comes in and changes a policy and says, we no longer permit advertisement for this specific niche or industry. And that client's revenue stops immediately. So I've seen that happen. So what I've learned in all of these failures is, number one, it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be upset. Like, give yourself permission to be upset. I give myself 3 days. Get upset, cry about it, be disappointed, be hurt, whatever. 3 days. After that, just pick yourself up and get going again. And it's easy in that moment to think, man, I've lost it all. It's over. It's done. But after you've had a few failures and you've got back up, you can tell yourself, hey, remember when this happened and you figured it out? Remember when this happened and you figured it out? Well, we're going to figure it out again. And sometimes it takes you a week to figure it out. Sometimes it takes you a month to figure it out. But if you have those skills, if you have the fortitude, if you have the determination, you'll figure it out and you'll get back up and you'll get back going again. So give yourself permission to be upset. That's normal. You're disappointed, you're hurt, whatever it might be. But then tell yourself, you've been through a failure before, you got up, you made it, whether it was last year, 5 years ago. So you're going to figure it out. You've got the gifts, you've got the talents, you've got the inner strength to do it. So just get up and get going again. Don't sit around and cry about it. So
thank you so much. It's for me, I call it how you actually building your resilience muscle, and sometimes like muscle, right? You to give yourself, yes, it's struggling, and also it takes time, but persistency, it's the same. It's your resilience muscle, and like you said, 2 times, 3 times. Time number 5, you already have this base, so it's easy.
It's like, I'll figure it out.
Exactly. Before we actually wrapping up and playing one little game, which is my tradition, you mentioned to have fun, and I suddenly, when you have elaborated now about, okay, these shortcuts and easy success, like 6 numbers for 6 days or whatever,
Uh-huh.
then we all that know it's a fake. And then we know that, but otherwise opposite, it's true, it can happen. If you were a billionaire,
Yeah.
you can very easily be. And for me, fun, I have this very funny story anecdote, like it's actually question, how one lady, no, whether it's possible that one lady, or smart or young, beautiful, doesn't matter, can make guy a millionaire in 24 hours. You have heard about that?
I've
Have
never
you
heard
heard
about
about
this.
the joke? But if you could guess, like, 10 seconds, like, is it possible that a lady can actually make the guy a millionaire in 24 hours?
Um, Rob a bank?
Okay, we can say, because it's about having fun. It's actually joking. Yes, of course. If he was in advance, if he was already a billionaire.
Oh, yeah, yes, absolutely. If he was a billionaire, yes, he can.
Yes,
He can. Right, right.
even less than 24 hours, like,
Yes, yes. In 20,
That's
yes,
about having fun together. It's just,
absolutely, absolutely. That's a good one.
yes, brilliant. Thank you so much. Before we actually wrapping up, so I start always with childhood, and I do believe in God, and God is love and magic, and I always love fairy tales and Christmas, and would love to have a little bit of magic that we can actually create ourselves every single day. And I don't have that big team yet, and I do believe in myself that I just started my show, and I want to help many people with being open voice about what I have shared, my vulnerability, right? And one day maybe I have a big team who can help me to give an even more good things.
Yeah.
But now I have this vice president of my podcast, and
The
she's
vice
very
president.
tough. Yeah, she's little one, but she works hard. She makes wishes, all
Okay.
kinds of wishes. And she's from very famous fairy tale, right? You know what it is? Can you see?
Yes, there's a genie in the lamp.
Yes, this is Aladdin lamp. That's correct. A
Like,
little bit tricky one, because she wants to help as many people, our guests, as possible. So 3 wishes, unfortunately, we cannot grant, but
oh,
one wish my vice president can grant. So my last question for you today. So if you could make a one wish just right now, just everything you want that is hitting your brilliant mind, just not tricky one, not wish about more wishes.
yeah, I know that's a tricky one. You can't do
This
that.
is
Can't do that.
fun,
Yeah,
but like, yes, if you could suddenly come with the wish.
So I would say this, and I'll give you the reason why I would say this. In the Bible, God asked Solomon, "I'll give you anything. What do you want?" And Solomon's request was, "Give me wisdom. Give me wisdom." And from that, Solomon built one of the greatest empires, was one of the wealthiest, most successful leaders of his time. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for any of that. He asked for wisdom, because from wisdom, you can create wealth. From wisdom, you can create peace. From wisdom, you can impact lives. All of that. So my answer would be, God, give me an abundance of wisdom. Give me an abundance of wisdom. And with that wisdom, many other things could come from it. So.
Beautiful, adorable. What a beautiful, powerful message. And of course, we can know what was like this or that. So
All right. Give me some wisdom.
working, yes, and give me the part of your wisdom, of course, will be then shared to us. Then it's actually gift, not just to
It's
yourself.
a gift that keeps on giving.
Perfect. You see, even here now, you have never been selfish. It just actually, you, like I said, you will be the future wisdom's vessel, even more wisdom's vessel to us, and it's our blessing. And King Solomon, yes, I know I have manifestation. This one tattoo, it's actually from King's, this about his ring, like everything shall pass. You know this story. So I do believe it's helpful for me because when everything shall pass, we of course knows when it's bad time it's past, but when it's good time, even more maybe important to remember that this also shall pass, so we have to appreciate and cherish more. It's
Yes.
his wisdom, right?
Yes.
So thank
Yes.
you so much. I
Thank
am,
you.
of course,
Thank
don't
you.
let you go, but I have to, because I want to share your wisdom with so many other people. I hope one day we can meet
Yes. Likewise.
and talk more, and maybe on the stage, and make impact with our bows, with our glasses, our nerdy
Absolutely.
minds
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
vibrations. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm blessed to have today, and our audience, of course, also have been blessed to get your wisdom. Stay healthy, you and your family, and all people you meet. Of course, I wish also them to be actually, yes, more wise. And I do know now that they are in reliable hands if they interact with you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
It
And
has
my
been my
audience, thank
honor.
you for staying with us until next episode. Yes, I hope I know you will join my dessert. Yes, well, dessert. Okay,
Thank you
bye,
very much.
Paul.
It's been
Thank you
my
so much.
honor.
And thanks so much to Daisy for helping us to arrange this beautiful conversation.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, bye
Bye-bye.
bye.